think we're live.
Are you live?
I'm live. Are you live?
Sort of.
You're live. Oh, sort of. Oh, that kind of day, is it? Anyways, we are here, and I hope everybody is doing okay.
So how come you got a thumbs down?
A thumbs down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who gave us a thumbs down?
No, you're one of those bubbles came up that said thumbs down. You must have had your thumb.
Oh, well, when I was turning the thing, that must have been it. Well, geez, what's your problem? Anyways, we're back. Let me try that again. We're back. Yeah, and I see all you guys are too, so it's good to see everybody after our little vacation away, and we're going to talk about that and other things today. But let's just first see the roll call. Who's all here? But before we do that, I must have a little hors d'oeuvre. Oh, look. What could this possibly be? Look at that. Would you like an hors d'oeuvre?
Sure.
There you go. Don't wear it on your shirt. Slippery hors d'oeuvre. Why, they're absolutely delicious and instant. Just instant. Nothing says scrumptious like spray cheese. This is cheddar. I do have the American as well. And ingredients. Well, they're all natural. There's whey, canola oil, milk protein concentrate, one of my favorites. Cheddar cheese, which has milk, salt, cheese culture, enzymes. See, it's all natural. Enzymes. We all have enzymes. Milk contains less than 2% of sodium citrate, sodium phosphate, salt, calcium phosphate, lactic acid, milk fat, sodium alginate, sorbic acid as a preservative, sodium
I don't think
caspinate,
there's anything in there that's natural that needs a
acetic
preservative.
acid, color, there's color, and cheese culture. This is absolutely organic. It's good for you.
Well, it can't be any worse than that McDonald's hamburger we had the other day.
Oh, that was gross. When you haven't had that in quite a while, oh, that was disgusting. But anyways, let's say hello to everybody. Diana's the first one on today, and she's excited by the sounds of things because she's off to Birmingham, England tomorrow to attend the Festival of Quilts on the weekend. Well, that'll be fun. Diana, Tamala's here. Barb is here. And as says Diana, you will probably see Kate there from the last Homely House. Probably she will, because I think Kate always goes. Send her my love if you happen to run into her. Tell her that the idiot quilter says hello. She will know who I am. Okay? I'm not kidding. So Inez says that Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Julie's here. She's excited to hear about y'all's trip. And Lynn is here. Hi, Lynn and Jan. Lynn and Jan are both here. Missed you girls. Joanne G is here. Sandra from Texas is here. Sue Norfleet's here. Hi, Sue. No, Sue, I didn't buy any A1 because why did I need it? You stocked me up for at least a year on it all. Russ is here. Hi, Russ. He was hoping everyone is having an awesome day, or he is hoping everybody has an awesome day. Patsy's here from Mississippi. Pace is here. Karen B is here. Where'd it go? I suddenly jumped up a screen here. Okay, I said Karen B. In My Quietude, which is Gail in Georgia, is here. Hi, everyone. Long time no see. Yes, that's true. Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. Jean E is here. Dan is here. Oh, Dana, you silly goose, you. Didn't we tell you we weren't going to be doing a sew day last Wednesday? But who tried to connect anyways? I know. Time difference in Red Deer or wherever you're hanging out these days. There's always going to be one. Actually, it wasn't you that I thought would do it, but you did. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. M's here. Hi, M. Ingrid's here. Elsa's here. Yes, we made it home safely, Elsa. Thank you for asking. Now I want now Russ wants spray cheese. Well, at least you can get it where you are at your local Walmart. We can't. But how many cans do you think we brought home? I bought 2. Stephanie gave me 4. I have got a 6-week supply. You do the math. Melissa's here. And Seely's here. Cheese. Good afternoon, lads. How many cans did you get? Well, I just said 6 cans. Celia. Seely.
See what happened?
Wow. I only got to lay back on the cheese. Yeah. Colleen's here. Lewis is here. Ruth is here. Hi, everyone. Everything in moderation except for fabric. Enjoy the cheese spread. I will, Ruth. Jen is here. Kim is here. It's having a beautiful day in Nova Scotia. Yeah, I hear it's kind of warm today. Walter went for a walk and he says it was stinking hot. It's only 28. 29.
Yeah, well,
29.
when you're walking fast, it's kind of hot.
Oh, well.
I'm wearing long pants, too, so.
Oh, well, there you go. Got your sexy sock on, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when Walter wears his long pants, he's wearing his sexy sock. Pamela is here. Russ says 6-week supply, so 97 cans. Yep. Monkey Man says, hi, Steve. So glad you had a great time. We did. Gloria is here. Diana Miller's here. Hello, Red. I enjoyed following your visit to Ohio. Okay, well, welcome, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. It's good to be home again. Lots of projects to work on. I do not have to show you any projects I've been working on because I'm trying to force myself to get all my UFO quilt tops that need to be quilted done. I did 1 today, only about 7 more to go. But if I start piecing again, and I got a lot of projects, thanks to our trip, I'll never get those ones done. So I'm really trying to force myself, and I really got to do something about getting Lucy room up to snuff because I've been putting it off way too long. So yeah, but then I see new projects and I want to work on them. Walter, so people wanted to know though, you saw my fabric haul. We'll talk a little bit about the stores we went to, but yes, the dollar amount, I think I mentioned it in one of them, but once I did the exchange rate and everything, yeah, it was about $3,000 Canadian. Yeah. And I don't regret a cent of it. I can tell you that. So, Walter, what did you buy? Show everybody.
Fabric.
Show everybody.
More fabric than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he's an amateur at buying it.
Yeah. So,
I think
I bought
cheese.
these 2 patterns. Steve saw this and he wants the shirt out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's kitty cats. Timeless treasures. It's kitty cats. I think it's a fabric that's out of print, actually. It's like your blue one that you've got.
Yeah,
It's
but this
similar.
one's more
Multicolored.
rainbowy. It's nice.
And then
Another
I saw
cookie
this one. I thought I kind of liked. So I thought it was kind of nice with balloons on it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. It's directional, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay.
You don't struggle with that.
I don't have a problem with it. Not when, unless the only one that I think I might have a problem with is if it's like squares or something.
Oh. Okay. So what else you buy?
Okay, so that's 2 of those. And then
Yes, Walter is muffled because he talks down here and he doesn't enunciate. And I keep telling him this. They're saying you're muffled. They're having trouble hearing you.
oh, okay, too bad. I bought this paper piecing kit.
Speak up!
I bought this paper piecing kit.
That's better.
This one. And it was a kit. So like that was the pattern.
Actually, before you go on here, this is a pattern by Jacqueline de Jong. And you probably know who that is. She's very, very famous for doing these kinds of designs and paper piecing. And that the quilt store we bought this in Berlin called the Lonestar, she was actually there that day doing a workshop. And the lady who owns the store asked us when she saw that Walter had picked us up if we'd like to see, like, take a peek at the workshop. So we did. And Jacqueline was in there, but she was busy with a group of people. We didn't want to interrupt her or anything, so we just sort of looked on for a minute or two, and then we left. But there you go.
Yeah, so this is the fabric that goes with it.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
So,
You know, I have a hard time breaking them up when they're like that because they're
Yeah.
so pretty.
so then, actually, I'm wondering if I got all my fabric. Anyway, there's that.
There's that, yes.
And then we went, I think I'm missing a fabric. No, I'm not.
Having trouble? Can't you get it out of the
So
bag?
there's another fabric I liked. I'm always looking for tool fabrics.
Because you are one.
So I like doing tools too. So the only thing is I would have liked a blue background, but gray is okay. And then we went to Zinck's, and it's what do you call it? Discounted fabric outlet. And I got this.
More about that shortly.
I got this because it was a good price.
It's crayons. Crayons. I have seen that fabric before.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Shirley had some of that at one point in
Yeah,
time.
I think she does have it.
May still
But
have
it's
it, yeah.
probably more expensive than
Yeah.
what I paid for it.
Well, probably, yeah.
And then I bought all this stuff that was like different shades of the same fabric.
So pretty.
And I just wanted all these different shades. So I got like an orange and a red and a green and a yellow and a blue and a purple.
He had a little problem with the purple.
Yeah.
He was being really picky about his purple.
I didn't like this purple.
I
but
like
anyway,
that purple.
And then I got a gray and a black.
So he's got a whole box of crayons right here. All 8 colors.
So that's basically all I got. But it's about $600 worth of stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. Well, how many? You bought what? How many meters?
I bought 2 meters of each of those fabrics.
But the ones you bought.
Two, we call it meters.
Yeah,
2 yards.
I confused the girl in Zinck's when I said, she says, how much would you like? And I had these bolts all out. And I said, well, I'd like 2 meters of each, please. And she looked at me and I said, I'm sorry, I'm from Canada. I mean 2 yards. But she was a little mystified when I said meters for some reason.
Yeah.
Which I found kind of surprising.
Keep remembering to say yards instead of meters.
I was surprised though that she just, like, the meters thing was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, you cut in yards, but most people just go, yeah, okay, you're from Canada. We do yards. Okay, no problem. Slip of the tongue. Whatever. So, yeah, we bought quite a bit. So, Mona's here. Hi, Mona. And Heather.
My patterned fabrics, though, that I've got are 3 yards each.
Yeah. Linda's here. Julie says, hey, you worked your whole life. Buy what you want. I indulge in fabric, too. 500. Hey, I do not feel guilty about money that I spend on fabric. Not at all. And I'll let you know a little secret. Although I spent $3,000, I put money aside all the time into what I call my fabric account. And it's purposely for that. So that I can buy what I want when I want it. So yeah, and I don't need to have a reason to buy it. I do not have a project. If it's pretty, I like it, and my standard cut is 2 meters of anything that I buy, unless it's wide back, and on wide back I buy 3 meters.
Well, the prices in the regular stores were about the same prices as what we would pay if we're here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really
When you do the exchange.
bonus for us to buy fabric down there unless it's something that we couldn't get up here. And unless it was Zinck's. Zinck's was an exception.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Zinck's in a second here, but just let me finish saying hello to people who've come in. I think I said hello to Linda. Joanne loves the cat fabric. Uh, yes, Mona would definitely like the balloons. Um, Kathy Patterson, I don't know if I said hello to her or not, but she's loving the fabric. Joanne says, oh, that looks challenging. What looks
Oh,
challenging?
I think maybe my pattern.
Oh, the paper pieced one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think she writes really good patterns. So
we'll see.
I don't know. I don't do paper piecing.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll do it. But...
Yeah, that's the other thing, when you'll do it. Gloria likes your fabric too for the paper piecing. Make a nice tool shirt, Walter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're hooked, Walter. Yeah, he is. Karen says all those fabrics of Walter's would make a great quilt with the block Stephanie made this morning, the Lonestar. Yeah, it would. It would. That would look good in a Lonestar. Pam says, Walter, I just ordered a legit kit paper pieced quilt. I hope you'll share lots of commentary on your paper piece too. Probably a lot of swearing, actually. Jen says, my fabric is my retirement fun and fund. Yep. Did you have any problems, Barb says, getting over the border with all your purchases?
No.
No. Actually, we had a plan before we came, to ask what questions, how you'll answer questions, because they usually will ask you, and how much are you bringing back? How much did you spend? And Walter already he was going to say he spent 300 and I spent 400. Yeah, no. With that, and we had a couple of bottles of wine. And the guy just looked at us. First of all, they usually ask you if you have any firearms, because they're illegal here in Canada to bring them across the border, of course. He never asked that question at all. And he just looked at us. And Walter said, yeah, 300 and 400. He didn't ask us what we spent it on, which was okay. And Walter immediately volunteered, and we have 2 bottles of wine. He says, okay, welcome home. Bye-bye. Just go. And I yelled, start the car, start the car on that one. But,
well, I have a feeling they don't really care.
Well, what two old men would it be?
They're more interested in if you're bringing stuff you're not supposed to bring across.
Did he even look in the car?
No. He didn't even ask me to unroll the window back,
No.
rear window. Most of the time, if you're going, your windows are tinted in the back. They usually ask you to roll down the window.
Well, the guy did when we crossed the border into the States.
When we came into the States, they made me roll down my windows.
Yeah. Philippa's here. Hi, Philippa. Really fantastic calls from both of you. I'm looking forward to shopping there next year. Glad you had a great trip. Yeah, it is a great place to shop. I can tell you. And Stephanie gave us a list of places to go to, and we're going to talk a little bit about those. And I'm going to show you what their websites look like as well. But before we do that, we have some announcements. So we're back on schedule again with our Wednesday Sew Day with Stephanie and Stephen Sew Day. Wednesday starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time and running until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And everybody knows the drill for that. The link is in the show notes below for that. And all are welcome. And if you've never joined us and you're free that day and you want to join us for a little while or the whole day, whatever, you're more than welcome to do so. It is a private Zoom link. It is not recorded. It is not a YouTube live. So don't worry about thinking you're going to be on YouTube, because you are not. And speaking of stuff, Pop-Up Sew Day next Saturday, August the 3rd, starts at 8 a.m. and I'm usually run until 5, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that to 4:30 because Stephanie's Live comes on at 5 on Saturdays, and well, I want to go on to Stephanie's Live and watch Stephanie, and I'm sure then there's many of you that do that as well. So we'll just stop at 4:30. That gives everybody time to get themselves ready for Stephanie's Live on Saturday. All right, so that's this Saturday coming up, Pop-Up Sew Day. Looks like there's a 40% chance right now of rain on Saturdays, here anyway, so good chance to sew. You could have gone to a sew day yesterday with your...
Yeah, I did, but we came back on Friday and I was tired.
Tired. Well, you're so tired, Wally. So tired. But anyways, okay. So those were announcements. So back to our haul. First of all, I told you what we spent. Um, the quilt stores down there were great. We went to 5, I think, and let's just go down. Oh, I don't have them. Actually, I don't have them up here. I thought I had them pictures of them, but it's just their websites. But I did list what just happened.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, we're back. Okay, something flunked out there. I have listed in. I guess it's working okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Everybody still see us? Yeah, well, I can see it on the monitor.
Well,
So.
does that have something to do with you switching from that your hall to?
No, I think what happened was the magic mouse.
Oh,
You know, if you move your fingers in a funny way. Anyways, we're here. So, like I said, we went to 5 quilt stores. They're all linked. They only one does not have a website. They have a Facebook page. All of those connections are listed in the show notes below. The first one we went to was called Lonestar. That we got there right when they opened up.
which was like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock in the morning they opened up.
On a Monday.
Yeah, actually, most of them were open by 9, which was kind of nice. But not open on Sundays. Okay, which is not unusual, even if it was Amish country, and a lot of these places are, connected to the Amish kind of a thing. I mean, ours aren't open here on Sundays either. With it, but anyways, Lone Star walked in. Wow. When you walk in, it's just rows of stuff. Nice Amish people that run it, although when you walked in, it was kind of like,
It was really nicely organized.
yeah, it's very nicely organized. When we first walked in, it was kind of like there was a young girl at the counter.
Kind of looked at us.
That was how she looked at us. I went, hi. Hello. Okay, warm, very warm. They warmed up really quick though, as I was putting bolt after bolt after bolt. I think I spent $1,000 there, Canadian. So they went ka-ching, ka-ching. And then an older lady came out and I asked her, I said, are you the owner? And she says, yes, I am. And I says, okay, well, do you mind if I do some video of your store? Oh, no, that was fine and everything. And then she got even warmer as I put another bolt down and another bolt down. And that's when she revealed, when she saw that Walter was buying that bundle of fabric and the pattern for that paper piecing project, that's when she told us the Jacqueline de Jong was there and would we like to see the classroom. They had a really nice classroom. It was another building, actually, in behind. Big place. Lots of space. There. So price-wise, their prices were about what once we did the exchange on them, it's about what we would pay here.
Yeah.
For it. So no real bargains to be had there, but good selection. And they were very clever. They had put a lot of patterns together with bundles. So you saw if you haven't seen it, you need to go and watch it. My videos that I posted last week, and you saw the bundles with the patterns that we had.
That's where I bought the kit, the paper piece kit from that place.
Yeah. So that was okay. And then we went to, what was the next one on the list? Oh, Zinck's. Zinck's. Okay. This place is a huge warehouse.
And they don't just sell quilting cotton, they sell all kinds of different fabric.
They had all kinds of different fabric. But right off the bat, when we walked in to the left of the door, wide backs. And really good price on the wide backs. I think they were working out to something like about $24 Canadian a yard. Well, here, a good price is $29 or $30, but
no, they were.
Or was it less than that?
I think that was less than that. It was wasn't it about the $12.99 or $13.99?
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, there was that one was $12.90. That was American though.
Yeah.
So $12.99 Canadian is about what, 17 a yard, roughly? Are you doing the calculation here?
Yeah.
So I think it's around 17. What's it say?
Yeah, it's 17.97
So
Canadian.
$18 a yard. Well, that's almost half price for what we pay on average. We can pay anywhere from about $29, $30 to $33, $34, $36 a meter for wide back.
Yeah, so like a yard is 3 inches shorter than what
Yeah.
we get, so it's still not bad.
So basically a meter's 39 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas a yard is 36. Okay. So endeth the lesson in measurement today. But anyways, I bought some there. It was in my videos as well. Because you always need wide back. I do not like doing pieced backs on quilts. Just you can have so many problems with it because you're going over other bumps. There's enough bumps in a quilt to go over with the top, let alone adding to it underneath. So I prefer wide back when I can get it. And I kind of stockpile it every time I see a sale or whatever. But anyways, they had it was mind boggling, and Walter had to reel me in.
Yeah, he was going nuts.
I was going nuts in there. And yeah, and he did reel me in, and I don't think he should have. I think I should have still said more of that. But I saw.
But we'll be going there next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that's next year. That's a whole 10 months away from when we. But they did have. Now they had stuff there I had never seen before. You could buy off a bolt ribbon fabric. It was purposely made so you could cut it down and make it into ribbons. That was a little different. I never thought about where does ribbon come from. Ribbon trees. I don't know. They had buttons galore. Walter looked at him and he said he wasn't digging through the piles because they were literally in piles.
A pile of buttons, and you had to dig through them to get individual buttons. Well, I'm not a real digger, so. And I've got a lot of buttons at home, so.
Yeah, button, who's got the button? But yeah, anything you need it. Now, the one thing they had lots of webbing, in different lengths for, making bags or whatever. They did have some interfacing, but the prices on the interfacing weren't anything to write home for. So.
No, I looked at the interfacing, and it would have worked out to about the same amount that I paid for.
Yeah. And they were fairly nice.
Now, mind you, the multicolored fabric that I bought, it was $6.99 a yard.
Yeah,
which worked American. Out to around $10 Canadian.
Yeah,
so which is actually a really good price.
That's a really good price.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah,
and not only that, the tax there is 7%, whereas in Canada we have to pay 13%.
Yeah, so that's definitely a place, if you go down to that area, you should go to.
Like a lot of the stuff I think is older fabric, like it's end of like they're not in print anymore type of thing. But the and their prices did vary depending on what you were looking at, but they did have a lot of selections of $5.99 and $6.99. So.
Yeah. Now there were some fabrics there, buyer beware, that were kind of crappy. They were the ones that were really, really cheap, like $3.25 a yard, and you could feel the cheapness. But really, there wasn't a lot of that. Pretty much everything there was, what you'd expect quality-wise for good quilting cotton.
In the market to get any jersey or stuff like that, but jersey prices were really good there. They were like $3.99 a yard, which is unusually low.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a real good look at the quality of them.
Then we went to a place called Miller's Dry Goods, and they have two buildings. The first building we went into, everything was flannel in there. And so I asked the lady at the desk, by the way, I said, do you happen to have quilting cotton? She says, oh yeah, it's the next building over. And yes, they did. And they had a pretty good selection too. But what really got my crank going was in their basement, they had the bargain basement. And they had bolts upon bolts of novelty fabrics and other fabrics, batiks and things, for like $8 a yard, American. I did buy a few things down there. I bought some stuff upstairs. In fact, I bought a bolt of fabric there. Actually, I bought a bolt of fabric, background fabric in white at Lonestar. I bought a bolt of fabric at Zinck's. I think, yeah, I did, at Zinck's. And I bought a bolt of gray fabric at Miller's Dry Goods. But you want to know something? What kind of pissed me off about Miller's Dry Goods was attitude. Now, they're not the only ones that do this, and not just quilt stores that do this. But if you pay by credit card, they may have a little sign there that says, if you're using a credit card, we add 3% or 4% to your bill. Well, who carries that kind of cash around with them? You know?
Who buys that much fabric?
Well, I guess. Anyways. But, I don't care. I was paying it anyways. But at Miller's Dry Goods, the girl at the counter, she said, when it came time to pay, she went, well, we charge 4% for using a credit card. Well, fuck you, Amish. Because it was like, what is this? I thought you people were supposed to be friendly and nice. We're finding that's not necessarily true, especially when it comes to business. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We learned some things about the Amish that, myth or truth. But anyways, before we get into that, so, and they took the gray fabric, these cheap buggers. So they made sure that they had it all counted out how much was on there, which is fine. It wasn't in a sealed, package thing, so you knew that there would be, 15 yards or whatever. But they had it measured right down to the nth inch, and then they just folded it all up. I kind of wanted it on the bolt.
You have told them that.
I probably should have, but I didn't know they were doing that because I was busy around the store doing other things. Well, I have an empty bolt here. Well, it's not now. I've wrapped it on that. But it was a nice store too. It's worth going to. Then there was one called for what was the shoot? There's Helping Hands. I don't want to talk about Helping Hands.
And then there was the Plaid Sheep Company.
The Plaid Sheep Company. Okay. This one, from their description on their website, I knew they had a lot of wool. And a lot of, for people who do hand embroidery, hand applique, and that kind of stuff, the Sue Spargo kind of thing. So I wasn't expecting a lot. But surprisingly, they didn't have it's not a huge store, but they had a good selection. I definitely found stuff I wanted. And while we were in there, I was talking to the lady who was cutting my fabric, and she was asking us where we were from, and we told her. She says, oh yeah, every year they go up to a cottage on Rice Lake. I said, Rice Lake? Well, Rice Lake is not that far from us. It's in our stomping territory kind of a thing. It's near Peterborough, Ontario, for those of you that come from Canada might know
it's about, an hour?
It's probably an hour away from us, northeast of us, and that. So we were talking about that with her as well. Found out later that Corey Yoder, and you all probably know who Corey Yoder is, and if you don't, Stephanie will fill you in, because Corey Yoder is one of her favorite designers, lives in that area as well. And I don't know if the lady I was talking to, I never asked her name, but one of the people that works in the store, maybe owns the store, I don't know, is related to Corey Yoder as well. So there you go. You're only 2 steps away from celebrity status. And before we left, the good salesman here, she says, did you see our Christmas display? I said, no. Where would that be? She says, oh, it's just over in the classroom. Check it out. So I did. She saw me coming, because there was this one pattern I really liked, but you had to buy the book that it was in, and there was a kit all ready to go for this, making this quilt. It has sheep on it, and it's a Christmas quilt, although you could make it for any time of the year. So I had to buy that. Then I saw another little pattern I liked, so I had to buy that. And I think there was a table runner. Oh, was there a kit? No, that was the pattern I bought. Anyways, yeah, bought a lot there. So that one's worth going to as well. Also, especially if you like 1930s style fabric, things like that, they did have a fairly good selection of that there as well. And I imagine they had, and I didn't look because I don't hate Corey Yoder. I never know designers, but I'm sure they had a lot of Corey Yoder fabric in there as well because of their relationship to her. So that's a good one to go to too. Out of the 5, the one that impressed me the least was called, and it's right on the main drag of Berlin, and that was called Helping Hands. Not so helping.
It didn't have they had a fair selection of fabric, but I found a lot of the stuff was very plain.
Yeah, I mean, lots of blenders and things like that, if that's what you were into. Price wise, not very good. It was on the upper end of the scale for prices in both American and Canadian dollars. I bought one thing there, and it was the silicone cleaning brushes that I've heard people talk about for your
Yeah,
sewing
so
machine.
$5.99.
Yeah, I bought that was my cheapest purchase of the day in any of the quilt shops. $5.97.
I didn't end up I didn't end up buying anything there because I didn't really see anything that really
Grabbed you?
yeah.
No. Order.
Sure.
We're just having a little spray cheese break. Excuse me. My show, I can do that. Okay. Backing up to what people are saying. So overall, it was good shopping. Good shopping. Ruth says, what kind of wine did you purchase? Okay. We went to, there's several wineries in the area. Berlin itself is a dry town. There is no beer, wine, anything in that town. So those of you going to the retreat in the spring, if you want a little bit of a nibble, a little bit of a, thing, bring your own. Or go to another town to pick it up, like Millersburg or wherever that's close to it. Because even the hotel does not serve spirits, wines, anything. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the hotel doesn't really have a restaurant or anything.
No.
It has an area where they serve breakfast.
Yeah. We'll come back. We're going to talk about the hotel in a minute, especially for those of you that are signed up and have never been there for Stephanie's retreat next spring. So, Bruce says, so what kind of wine did you purchase? So we went to a winery called Brittenbach.
Yeah,
Brittenbach
or something.
And we did a little wine tasting. Well, basically, they had all their wines laid out there, but you have no idea. So we went into their area where they do tasting, and they do their tastings a little bit different. You have to go to a table. They have like, what do you call it, bar tables kind of thing, and the menu is on the table of the different wines, and you tell them which ones you want to taste, and they come over with a little cup with some of the tasting amount in the cup. They charge you 50 cents
per tasting.
So we tried 5 wines that were on their list, 3 whites, 2 reds. They did have a dandelion wine, but we didn't try that.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be really sweet.
I still think we should have tried it.
Yeah.
But anyways, we did try these 5. It's not bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
It's not good.
Astounding.
Well, yeah, it isn't horrible.
Actually, they had a Pinot Grigio there that I didn't really like the flavor of.
We ended up buying a couple of bottles.
Yeah.
And actually, we bought a couple of bottles to take to Stephanie's when we're going to see her. More about that. Yeah, it was okay. But
we bought a bottle of red that we haven't opened yet.
Oh, yes, true. That red though was, now tasting it there, I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll see what it's like now that we have it at home, because we didn't open the bottle while we were at the hotel. So anyways, yeah, that was the only winery we went to. There wasn't another one. Actually, there was one up the road we had lunch at called Hans Place, but there was sort of a winery attached to it. And I forget what the name of that winery was.
Yeah, I don't recall.
But I saw people in there getting...
Well, actually, we went into the shop and almost all the wines in there were all fruit wines.
Oh, yeah. And we do not like... Unless it's made with grapes, we don't really like it. We've had bad experiences with fruit wines before.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you should really be able to call them wine.
Fruit wines are often sweeter, too.
Yeah.
So.
And I just don't think you should call them wine. Because, no. If they're not grapes, they're not wine. They're fermented fruit juice. But whatever. Sorry, do I sound like a snob? Remember, I drink out of a cardboard box and I eat spray cheese. So take it with as you will. Okay. So, all right, so that was to answer that question. But you did pesticides. And Jen says, how much weed killer did you bring back? Well,
I only brought back 2 bottles. One bottle for your lawn and that is a selective herbicide, and I bought 1 bottle that'll kill everything.
and you know how I am in a fabric store, right? Go, "Ah!" Walter, Walmart, pesticide aisle. "Ah!" So much poison, so little time. So yeah, we got that across border, no problem. So we're gonna have a nice lawn. Walter's getting ready to get out there and just kill it.
No, I use it very sparingly. Those bottles will last me for a while.
I almost spilled the beans with the neighbor though, because Walter says, "Don't tell them we bought pesticide." Because one half of the neighbors there, she's all organic, don't you know? Yeah, whatever. You get down on your hands and knees and dig out those roots. They're still going to come back. Oh, I say.
Well, when you've got a neighbor that doesn't care and has a
On one side.
lawn full of weeds on one side, it's hard to keep the weeds away in your own lawn.
Yeah.
What annoys me here is the individuals are not allowed to have pesticides here, but or you're not allowed to buy pesticides. You can have them, you just can't buy them, right? But the lawn companies that come around and charge you $1,000 to look after your lawn per season are allowed to use them.
Yeah. So yeah, they didn't ask us about that over the border. Nope. I had them sitting in the cooler right next to my spray cheese. I did not. We had them separately wrapped up, very nice and tight and away from anything that we might be touching in terms of food or whatever. Oh, Teresa's here. Hi, Teresa. Seely says, thanks for the footage of the fabric stores. It was nice to see what's available in different areas. Yep. So those of you that are going to the retreat next spring in Berlin, you're going to have a good time. Bring your money. Kat's here. Hi, Kat. Diana says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thanks, Diana. Janet Lloyd is here. Love the Ohio videos. Thanks for posting them. Not a problem. Val's here. Hi, Val. Most small businesses here in California charge you the credit card fee. Been like that for a few years. Well, that is something that right after COVID sort of ended, they started doing here too, but nobody's doing it. They can do it. But
yeah, they're allowed to do it by the government, but so far none of the businesses have been charging extra, including Walmart.
Yep. Angel's here. Hi, Angel. Patricia's here. Karen Cox is here. In the 80s and 90s, Helping Hands was a great store. It was 2 stories, always had someone hand quilting and a lot of fabric. Not now. Changed a lot. Yeah, it's only a small store, and the front part of the store has a lot of, there's quilts you can buy and some notions and things, and then the other half of the store is the fabric, as you heard us say. I wasn't really it's worth a look, because you might find something you want there, but I wouldn't go out of my way. If you're downtown Berlin, you're walking by it, sure, go in. What can it hurt? Philip says, thanks for the heads up on the wine. Definitely will be picking up before retreat. Yep.
Yeah, the Walmart was available. You could get wine at the Walmart in Millersburg. They didn't have a really
the selection wasn't really great there.
Actually, the shelves were empty, so their choices were limited.
Yeah, very limited. We bought their Walmart's own brand of wine, Oak Leaves. Don't recommend.
It was cheap.
Oh, it was bad.
It was definitely.
I'd rather drink the Carbonnet, the stuff out of a box.
There wasn't a whole lot of other selection available. So.
No. Ruth says.
Carbordel.
Yeah, Carbordel. Whatever. I always get that one mixed up. Juice box for grown-ups. New York Finger Lakes wineries are calling you. Craft breweries and distilleries are popping up, but wines are excellent, mostly on the dry side. I'm sorry, you're not going to convince me that any American wine's good.
We have a really good
We have a prejudice.
wine region here in Ontario near Niagara Falls.
We don't like American wines. I have yet to have an American wine that I can actually say, oh my God, let's go there and get 12 cases of it. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Americans. I know you'll all be upset with me because everything you do is wonderful. Not your wine. Okay? Never mind. Besides, you people make wine to go with fast food. Think about it. Am I insulting you? Yeah, I am, and I don't apologize for it. Sorry. Charlotte says, weeds be gone. Yes, we hope. Kay's here. Hi, Kay. The credit card fee is BS, especially when using cash. Is so discouraged in many places. Exactly. It's gouging. That's the way I look at it. It's gouging. Okay, if you're a business, you have to pay a fee to offer the facility for credit cards. But then again, if you're a business, you can't. You have to. In this day and age, you have to offer it. So put it in your price. Up your price just a slight bit to cover it.
They could turn around and say, well, if you're paying in cash, I'll give you a discount.
Yeah. But, no, they don't. Barb loved the little gnome. Yeah, we went to the Christmas store. Oh my God. Well, you probably saw the footage. I saw a place like that once before, and that was in Frankenmuth, Michigan, which, by the way, is another place you don't need to go to. Because there's nothing in Frankenmuth that's worth going to, except maybe the Christmas store, and it's outside of Frankenmuth. But this place, I mean, it was gorgeous inside. Just the way everything was laid out and decorated. I mean, you felt Christmassy even in July in there. And I knew that I wouldn't be buying stuff before I went in. I just wanted to see what was happening. I don't know why it's reading that now, but whatever. Because they're over there. But anyways, I wasn't going to buy anything. I mean, there is so much stuff. And over the last couple of years, I've been trying to weed out my Christmas decorations because we don't put up a lot of decorations. And what I do put up are quilts. Mostly.
It was interesting to see.
But it was interesting. But then I saw the gnome.
And actually, the price wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad price. I think he worked out Canadian about $22 for it.
Did you figure out if
No, I haven't put the battery in him yet.
Wow.
He's sitting over there. Can you get him? Okay, he's sitting up there in the corner. See him?
Oh, yeah.
The one that looks like a gnome. Kind of looks like you wearing a toque. Yeah. But yeah, it was a beautiful store, just everything that they had in it. Here's my little gnome. Oh, there we go. Ain't he cute? Look at his little feet. He's so much fun. But I haven't got a battery in him. He's supposed to, it says, BO lighted plush.
And it just lights up.
I think it just lights up, but I haven't got a battery in him. I think it takes I don't know if that means 9 volts or whatever, we'll figure it out. Actually, I forgot to try it with battery, but I mean, I just think he's cute. He is just so fuzzy. So yeah, you can just put him over off to the side there. Thank you very much. I'll stick a battery in him later and see how that lights up. Mm-hmm. What else did we shop? There were what I call gitch stores.
Like there was stores that sold antiques supposedly, but they were like consignment places that sold for other people.
And also crafts and things.
Places.
And then there's like candles coming out of your yin yang. That's what I call like dust collectors. They're little tchotchkes and things like that in there. And if you're into that, well, your mind is going to be blown because there's this place right downtown Berlin. It's like a big barn. I forget what they called it. Something, was it Marketplace or something? It had all that kind of stuff in it. And then there's cheese places too. Now we didn't go to the what is it? The place with the
Google. I can't remember the name of it.
Goo Gaga. I don't know, something. But we did get some of their cheese because we went to some place called Ashery, and it's sort of a market, but kind of a one of those kind of...
It's Guggenberg cheese.
Oh, Guggenberg cheese. Okay. what would you call Asheries? It's a food market, but it's got
a lot of stuff
that you can't
yeah,
buy other
Stephanie
places.
put
Yeah,
it up there. It's got a lot of bulk food items that are put in bags.
bags and stuff like that. But you've got your nuts, your chocolate, and they had cheese, lots of cheese, and we bought a
They
package
had
of.
all kinds of nut butters. Like
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
peanut butter and almond butter and cashew butter and
Yeah.
hazelnut butter and all kinds of other
Dead
stuff.
cat butter, whatever, roadkill butter. Um, they had lots of things that had chocolate on them. They had ice cream, but I don't know if they made the ice cream there or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
But we
remember.
didn't have any ice cream. See, Walter was busy reading everything on the labels to see what things had no added sugar, low carbs, things like that, because we're on this thing, now with it all. I could have just eaten everything in the store, no problem, but we didn't.
And you got a few high carb things that I haven't been eating. So.
I did, and I have only been eating them very sparingly. Usually I would bury my face in them, but no. We're losing
we got
weight.
Some nuts.
So yes, we got some nuts, some cashews. Cashews is good. So yeah, a good place to check out actually when you're down there.
And they have all kinds of spices and stuff and different kinds of flour and all kinds of stuff.
And then there's a sort of it's like a chain, but not quite a chain, called Walnut Creek. There's one right in Berlin.
They're kind of like a grocery store.
They're like a grocery store with a little bit different things in it, too. We went to two of them actually, but they were both pretty much the same. There. So there is that in Berlin. So if you're going down for the retreat, and the hotel is it's in walking distance, like 3 minutes away walking. And, if you want salad or cold meats or bread, cereals, that kind of stuff, they had all of that there, plus other things as well. So that's very handy to the hotel. We're also the hotel's right next to a huge buffet place. What was it called? Farmstead. You can actually find it on internet if you go, and you can see what it's got, and they have like endless amounts of mass quantities of food. The one thing I was really curious about, we did not go in there to eat because to me, going to a buffet is a waste of money because I can't eat that much to start with. They pride themselves on it being home cooking. Well, I always love it when people say this is home cooking.
Their specialty was noodles on mash.
That one mystified me. Noodles on mashed potatoes. Talk about your starch on starch, your carbohydrates. And it kind of sounds intriguing. But I don't know. But we didn't go there. But it's right next to the hotel.
And people were lining up to get
into
the place.
Yeah, extremely popular. I think on YouTube it said it was what, $16.95?
Well, I can't remember. I looked it up. I think it was either $16.95 or $18.95 for the buffet. It includes a salad bar.
Yeah.
And if you just get the salad bar, it was about $14 or something.
Now they do have a menu though too, with individual items on it, I guess, that you can, according to the YouTube videos
if you
we
get
watched.
the buffet, I guess you can't get takeout. Like you can't eat some and then take some of it out. Like you have to eat what's on your plate.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you order a dinner, you can take that out or something.
Yeah.
So that might be an option.
Yeah, that might be an option. Yeah, they have a takeout service, sort of a thing. So not sure exactly how it works, but that's an option too.
I'm sure you can order on the menu and you just take it out.
Now we did go into Millersburg and we ate at a sports bar in there, which was
wasn't particularly great.
Called Bags.
Yeah, Bags.
And there's several of them in around the area.
There's two of them. There's one in Millersburg and there's one in Sugar Creek.
Yeah. Kay says noodles on mashed potatoes is the best. I have never heard of that ever. So I was curious. And I don't know noodles. I wonder what kind of noodles. Are they egg noodles or wide noodles, or what? I mean, I like noodles. I like mashed potatoes. Could be fun. I don't know. And what I assume you put gravy on it all because you got to have gravy. So I don't know. Um, oh, Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Uh, Dubrovka says, hi, Dubrovka. Sort of late to the party, but I'm here to say hi. Okay, hi. Charlotte's here. Hi, Charlotte. Jeannie says there are many lovely Christmas stores in Germany. Oh yeah, because
I'm sure.
the Christmas markets in Germany or whatever are world famous. I think I've heard of them anyways. Sherlock's here. Hello, Sherlock. Yeah, Sherlock. I've never heard of noodles on mashed either. And Steffi says it's like chicken noodle soup noodles with a chicken gravy.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, well, that's not so thrilling. I think egg noodles on top would be drenched in butter with gravy all over it. Not that white gravy. I want beef gravy. Yeah. Maybe it's poutine American style. Amish style. But anyways, yeah, where else did we? Oh, well, of course, you all saw the first video. We talked about the $8 salads at east of Chicago pizza place.
Yeah, when we
the
went
pizza was good.
We went to Berlin. There isn't really anything open on Sunday. We arrived on Sunday.
We knew that anyways.
We kind of knew that, and I knew that the pizza place was open, and that's one of the few places that was open. So I said, well, let's go there and get pizza. And I said, well, I wanted a salad with it, and they supposedly had salads. So we ordered 2
side salads,
and they were tiny.
They were $6 American for each of these, and they were, well, you saw it. I had it on the video. I went, oh my God. And that's what encouraged us to make the comment, which some of you didn't realize we were joking when we said, well, Americans don't eat salads anyway, so what do they know? It was a joke, people. It was a joke. Get over yourselves. Really, those of you. Because I had several people go, I eat salads every day.
It was just a little bit of iceberg lettuce and a couple of tiny pieces of tomato.
And a little scattering of cheese.
Yeah, and it was like really tiny.
Yeah. Like this was not $8
almost
worth of salad.
Not quite a mouthful.
Yeah, $8 Canadian is what I'm saying. It's $5.99 American. So, yeah.
I mean, compared to the price of the pizza was. I mean, that was like $12 for 2 salads, and the pizza was $20. Right?
We got a 14-inch pizza deluxe, so it had lots of stuff on it, and it was more than we actually needed because although we only left one piece, I was hungry that day. I ate more than Walter did, but pizza is one of my favorite food groups. It was $20 American.
It was actually a good pizza.
Yeah, it was a good pizza. They make good pizzas, you just don't sell it. But they also had a buffet there too you could do that had pizza, and I think it had some pasta on it and garlic bread, chicken wings, things like that. I don't know how much that was. We didn't ask because for one, it was a buffet. And the crowd that was eating in there, let's see, how do you put it mildly? Piggies at the trough. Yeah. Ooh. Let's pile it up. One guy came in with a shovel. Like, okay. Little different eating habits from those of us in Canada, I guess. I don't know. Might have been the air, the country air. That smell of horse manure everywhere. Yeah, be prepared for that. Watch where you step in Berlin. Because that warm, squishy feeling between your toes.
Went to the Walnut Creek, which is the grocery store or whatever. And as we were walking up the side, they had the horse and carriage parking on the side, and there was like lots of little goodies there.
And these people don't poop and scoop.
No, there's just
they just drive away from it.
Piles of turd.
So I don't know. Maybe they have people that do this. I don't know, clean it up, whatever. Yeah. So, or take a plastic bag down with you and take it home as fertilizer, whatever. Do the work for the people in the town, save them the effort.
And then as you're driving up the roads on the side, they have like a shoulder that's wide enough for these horse carriages on there.
Yep.
And every so often you see a pile of shit.
Yes, there was plop plop, fizz fizz. There they got the whole family all in the buggy. Away they go. playing their video games and listening to their earbuds. No,
Now
not
we have
really.
Mennonites in our area,
Yeah.
not far from us, but there aren't there are lots of buggies.
What,
In
in the
one here,
Mennonite country?
in
Yeah.
Mennonite country, you don't see it very
No,
as much
not in our area,
in
but
our area, but in that area, there's lots and lots and lots of buggies.
yeah.
And there is lots and lots of the Amish have adopted modern technology in that they have electric bicycles.
Yes, that seemed to be even more of a menace than the buggies on it. They were zipping around on their e-bikes and things like that. You know, this is what I'm saying. We have an image of what the Amish are like, right? The old ways, nothing in technology, very nice people, simple values, simple lifestyle. No, no. That's an image. First of all, they are not overly friendly. This is not to say that they are nasty. They're not. But they definitely keep to themselves. They're a little standoffish. They're polite and everything like that, but
But they kind of avoid you.
they avoid you, like until you show them the cash. Show us the money. With that, that's the other thing about them. They are very, very smart business people, and they have a lot of money. Because if you saw when you drive through the countryside around Berlin and the whole bit, their farms are huge, very well kept. Their houses are huge. Now, yes, they probably have an extended family living with them. And somebody mentioned to me in a comment that many of these homesteads are probably handed down from one generation to another generation. And yes, that's all very true. But these people, and I don't think they should live in poverty, but these people know how to run a business effectively. So, which makes me think, I've never really thought about before, but is Amish a form of a cult? I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Just saying. Um, but whatever. I'm not saying that their lifestyle is causing people grief or anything. No, not anything like that at all. It's just we have a certain image. At least I did in my head, and I think I got a little taste of more of the real side to that, as much as you can get in that situation. Okay, so I was just checking to see if I missed anybody's comments there. So let's talk about our trip down and back. Well, easy. We were about what, 6.5 hours to Berlin.
That's interesting. Ruth Roberts says they're exempt to paying taxes.
Oh, are they?
Are Amish exempt to pay taxes?
Well, she said Amish and art are big business, very shrewd, buying up land in upstate New York, exempt to paying taxes.
Are they exempt?
Are they? If they have a business, I wonder how can they get away with that? Because part of your
I
taxes.
understand if it's somebody that's native, like the Indian or Indian.
Oh, but yeah, but
Aboriginal.
there's a restriction on the natives in the indigenous people. They don't pay taxes if they live on the reservation. But if they don't live on the reservation,
that's in Canada.
That's in Canada, yeah. They still have to pay taxes. Now, they have a card here in Canada that they show when they go into certain places where they are exempt from paying sales tax. But in order for them to have that card, I believe they have to be a resident on a reservation. Otherwise, they're subject to everything everybody else is. So I don't know how that would work in terms of the Amish as well.
As Maryland says, they're only exempt to paying Social Security. I think it came out exempt.
Yeah, so they're only exempted from paying into Social Security. So in other words, they don't collect an old age pension, kind of a thing. Quilt Squirrel says, "Ain't trouble crossing back door?" No, nothing. Quilt. Oh yeah, you came in a little late. We already talked. No, we got across, no problem. We had all goods smuggled in. They didn't ask us anything, so that was
actually
easy.
We've never been. Actually, the few times that we've crossed the border, to date, we've never ended up being stopped.
It might be reason why we're having more problems with guns in our country.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just saying about the Amish people. Um, yeah,
Definitely an interesting
yeah,
area to go to.
yeah, it is. It is. Well, the one thing you're not going to see is an Amish in a bar. So, but then
It's not
again,
like going to
not,
Ireland.
oh God, no.
Ireland, there's a bar in every corner.
Every corner there's a bar in Ireland. Yep, they're never more than a block away from a watering hole. Um, so going down was 6.5 hours about to Berlin, and pretty easy.
Yeah,
No
the
problem.
roads were pretty good.
Yep, down there. The Berlin Hotel, where the retreat will be, very comfortable. Rooms are nice. We had one with a balcony on it, but they're very comfortable, very spacious. Um, the staff, when we first got in there to check in, the one lady was a little bit passive aggressive with us. At one moment,
I have a feeling though it seemed to be busy, and I
yeah,
think she was a
I
little
think she's getting a
flustered
little overwhelmed or something,
because
but
I saw her a couple other times and she was seemed polite.
better. So I
Yeah,
guess, yeah. So whatever. But the staff there were all nice. You get brekkie in the morning, comes with your room. It's okay.
it's okay.
I mean, what do you expect? I mean, I wasn't expecting eggs Benedict and something flaming on there. But they had, your usual. They
Yeah,
had eggs and
eggs and some sort of meat, sausage,
yeah.
or
They had one morning they had Canadian bacon.
which we had to laugh.
It wasn't Canadian bacon, or as we refer to it, back bacon or pea bacon. It was ham, little round discs of ham. That is not Canadian bacon. I'm sorry. Sorry that you've been told that's Canadian. That is not Canadian
Yeah,
bacon.
the room was pretty big
Mhm.
for a hotel room.
Yeah, and it was kind of nicely laid out. And you got a microwave, you got a little fridge in there, a coffee maker, and all that. So yeah, it was good. The bathroom was nice. The bathroom had lots of counter space. That's one of my things of rating a good hotel room is a bathroom with a lot of counter space because I have a lot of makeup that has to be put on those shelves, and I like to keep my makeup neat in there.
I
Right?
mean, there were some, as Ruth says, Amish or closed community in our area, and they're typically hire the English to drive them to Walmart.
Oh,
However, we did see a number of Amish driving their own cars.
and we saw a number of Amish shopping at Walmart.
Uh,
Um, they were giggling as
now,
they did, but
they were probably a little bit more modern, but
yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they might have been. There's probably different levels of severity in, how well would they stick to in their culture, beliefs, whatever
yeah,
on that.
like I think there's like an old order and a newer order or whatever, and they have their own rules. However, they work that out.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, it's not a problem. Okay, like you don't have to
I
worry
mean,
about
no, I
them.
mean, didn't really see anybody. We didn't really talk to anybody, but we didn't really. They were all very
Well, you
polite and
can't really talk to them. If you walk up to and strike up a conversation, I have a feeling they will be polite and walk away
yeah.
from it because, you're the English.
Not unless they're in the service industry and have to.
Yeah, and even then, the ones we met in the service industry gave you the bare minimum amount of, help. Like, well, they helped you if you
Well, I
needed it,
think
but
the younger people were a little bit more standoffish, and actually the older people seemed
yeah,
that
it
were a
seemed to be
little
a little,
wiser in their ways.
I guess. But whatever. It's not really a problem. So
No,
just an observation. Sealy says the room you had was massive. It was okay. It was a good size, yeah, for sure. Um, Sue says we had a lot of black bumper Amish in our area. Walmart's best customers. Yeah, the Mennonites that are in the area just west of Toronto and that they have like about 3 levels of their order roughly. They have the old order. They're the ones that dress completely in black. They do not have a car. They have horse and buggy and they don't have electricity or anything like that. Then there's sort of an in-between ground. They're a little bit more moderate. They may have a car, but they paint the bump. Well, in the days when the bumpers were chrome, they paint those black. and they may have some electricity, but they'll have a limited number of modern conveniences. And then there's modern Mennonites, and I went to school, to teachers college with a modern Mennonite, and we became friends. And I was in his parents' home several times, and they were modern. They had modern devices. I don't know if they had a TV. I'm trying to think about
Yeah,
that.
they did have a TV.
Yeah,
It
they
was
did.
black and white at the time.
Yeah, whatever. But they didn't dress in the traditional garb. Now his mother, she didn't dress in anything too wild or anything. It was pretty conservative dress, but they had a modern car and stuff like that. So that's different levels of the Mennonite. But Mennonites are not Amish.
Yeah, Mennonite, from what I've read, is Mennonite's a little bit more modern than
Yeah.
Amish. So
And I'm not even sure if they're like a branch of the Amish or not. I always thought they were, but I think I read something that said they actually are not.
no, I don't. Think
So
they are.
I don't know. Have to do more research on that if I was that interested, and I'm not. Ruth says, yes, I think the tax requirement varies from state to state. And Sue says, my Janome Alma dealer is Mennonite, drives a big white van. Yep. Mennonites they're just a little bit less severe on the whole, I think, in what they believe in. So anyways, yep. So Berlin's a nice little place. But if you're looking for nightlife, you're not going to find
the
any.
area is kind of nice. Yeah, it's
Yep.
a bit.
It's a nice place
Don't go
for a
there
rest.
nightlife.
Yeah, if you're going there for the bar scene, forget it. The only bar you're going to see is the one they tie the horse and buggy to. So that'll be it. So then, of course, after Berlin, we made our way up to the Cleveland area to see Stephanie. And it was probably next to buying fabric. Sorry, Stephanie. But next to buying fabric, that was the biggest highlight, was seeing Stephanie and meeting her husband. I've met Keith online before, but never saw him face to face, Stephanie's husband, and her kids. And her kids are great. I mean, Henry, the youngest one, and some of you have been on the Sew Days with us on Wednesdays. Henry sometimes makes a candid appearance. He is hilarious. He's just the most inquisitive little guy there is, smart too, as a whip, but he's funny. He eases his way into you, and the next thing you know, he's on your lap, just sitting there, like kind of a thing. He's not obnoxious or anything like that. You know, there are those kids who see you and they crawl over you. He's not like that, but he sort of just subtly eases his way in. Next thing you look down, what? I've got Henry on my lap. So, Sarah. I absolutely love Sarah. She has a great sense of humor. Again, very smart, and she is such a mother hen with her brothers. She is just wonderful with them. And then the other two, Christopher. Now, Stephanie warned us. She said Christopher is very, very shy, and he probably won't even make eye contact with you or say anything. And he didn't until we'd been there for a while, and he's kind of warmed up a little more. And then Luke was not having a good day. I think we disrupted his schedule that day, but nevertheless, they're all very unique personalities, each one of them, which was kind of cool. And they have a cat, and this cat, I've got to show you the pictures of Stephanie's cat here. Let me switch this over. Okay, there's her cat. It's a blue point, and it is so cute. But look at its nails. Russ, check out Stephanie's cat's nails. Now, of course, those are the little covers to keep, from scratching up stuff. But I thought when I saw the color of them and the whole bit, I thought of Russ immediately, even though they're blue and not lavender or whatever, purple. But look at that face. It is such a pretty kitty. And then they have bunnies. And Sarah had a whole bunch. I think there were 6 of them. Little tiny baby bunnies. Oh, they were so cute and they were so fluffy with that. So
yeah, they rescued them.
Yeah, they rescued them. They were on somebody's lawn or something, and the neighbors or something had touched them, of course, then the mother will reject them. So Sarah is a mummy to those bunnies. They already have a couple of full-grown bunnies. We got to meet them, but I had never really ever looked at tiny baby bunnies. These ones, I don't know how old they are, but they weren't very old, maybe a couple of weeks. Sarah was feeding them with, I think, an eye dropper or whatever. But oh, they were so soft. They'd be delicious in a pie. No, so tender. No, not really. They were really cute. But of course, while we were there we are. They took us up on a tower hoping we would jump. See, Walter does smile, and his eyes are open on this picture. We're up at the top, out on an island, the Put in the Bay. Put in the Bay island. Stephanie and Keith. Put in Bay. Took us to the island. It's in Lake Erie. Out there, and this is this tall tower commemorating somebody to the War of 1812 or something, whatever. So we went up to the top of that, and of course there's the happy couple, Stephanie and Keith, both up there too as well. It was so windy, and Stephanie wouldn't do it, but she could have pulled a Marilyn Monroe. Her skirt was just a blowing up there. It was quite windy. So Stephanie, besides us buying all kinds of fabrics, Stephanie gave us some gifts as well, which she shouldn't have. Besides 4 cans of spray cheese, yum yum, she gave us all this stuff. So this kit, this whole another Doug Lico pattern book with stuff to go for making a project in it. This chroma color jelly roll and pattern. Then these bundles. Look at this one. It's Keith. And you know, I do like Keith. I haven't bought any Keith in a while. And the other ones are beautiful fabrics. And then she gave Walter too enough fabric to make a shirt, batik out of that. And this is backing. Keith as well. And then this, we both got she gave us both one of these wine cooler mugs kind of things, chilling with my gnomes, of course. And then she knew that we bought mini Olysio irons, so she gave us both a carry bag for them. I've got mine in the carry bag right now. Do you have yours in the carry bag?
Yes,
No.
I do.
Do you? Oh, you do? You put it in there? I thought you wouldn't be able to find it. So, which was very, very generous of Stephanie. I can't say too little about that. I was really, really surprised. And while we were there as well, I was going to video it, and we got so excited. Well, Henry was really excited. He was helping us too. Unboxed the Janome 550E embroidery machine. So we got that set up for Stephanie and showed her some basics about all of that. And now she's gone down the rabbit hole. So, you know, what? Yeah. No, it's not. Oh, well, you want to see the other thing. Okay, just fine. Just point. Just tell me what you want, really. What do you really, really want? Here we go. Okay. So yeah, we had a really great time. We went to a winery on the island that was there too and had a little tour. Didn't know about the cave. We went into the crystal cave that was on this winery tour, and it was a little confining, and I'm claustrophobic. And
luckily it wasn't very far away.
No, it wasn't far out, but I got out of there as quick as I could, because it's a little close confines down there. Interesting, but anyways, I lived. And we did a little bit of we tried some of their wines that were there too. And funny story, they have an ice wine. Okay. I didn't say anything when we were in the line because I would just look like a smart ass if I'd say that, and you'd all going, well, so what else is new? They have an ice wine they make. They freeze the grapes to make the ice wine. That's not how ice wine is made.
Well, not in Canada.
No, anyway. Niagara-on-the-Lake is one of the world's best leading makers in ice wine. And what they do is they leave a certain amount of the grapes on the vine until they freeze. They get a cold enough spell that the grapes freeze on the vine. And then they have like only a couple of hours in the middle of the night to pick the grapes. They can't, once they have frozen, they can't leave them there. They have to pick them once they're frozen the first time, and before the sun comes up and the sun starts to hit them, pick them, and then they're processed into ice wine. It sounded to me, and maybe I have it wrong, but it sounded to me like their process was basically they just had a bunch of grapes, they freeze them, and they make ice wine out of it. So either way that you make it, it's a very sweet wine if you've ever had ice wine.
Yeah, actually, it's served in Canada as a liqueur.
Yeah.
In a liqueur glass, not in a wine glass.
It's usually very, very expensive, and you get is it even a half bottle?
It's a half bottle, and it's very expensive.
It usually runs 60, 70 and up dollars for one of these bottles. We have 3 bottles of ice wine in our wine cooler. It's vintage because it's been there since about 2000.
Normally you just get a very small glass, and when we were at that winery, Keith got Stephanie
a glass of ice wine.
And it was a regular sized glass.
It was a regular wine glass, 3/4 full of ice wine. Needless to say, Stephanie could not finish it. She took it home. the rest of it. She got to keep the glass though. That was part of the bargain with it, I guess. But I have never seen ever ice wine poured in a regular wine glass like that. There is no way you could possibly drink a full wine glass of ice wine and not be sick because it's so sweet. Like, it's incredible. But anyways, it was an interesting tour though, and Stephanie brought lunch with us, and we had a nice lunch in there. And we did have another small glass of wine. Like,
yeah, well, it was kind of weird there. They gave you a sample glass of wine, which was like about this big, a little plastic cup. And then I went and asked for, Stephanie had gotten the ice wine in a glass. And then I asked for a couple more glasses of wine. And she started pouring the small plastic glasses.
Yeah.
And I said, do you have a glass? And she says, oh, do you want a bottle? I said, no, I don't want a bottle. I want a glass. She says, well, yeah, these are the glasses.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But you only
They
paid
confused me.
for you got 2 of these for $4.50, didn't you?
Yeah, it was $2.
Yeah, you said so. $2.25 or something for these little glasses of it.
Yeah, Stephanie, ice wine here is extremely sweet.
Yeah.
And but it's served as a liqueur.
Yeah, it's usually an after dinner drink.
Yeah.
That they'll serve it here, or dessert wine.
Yeah.
Is oftentimes, if you're having some sort of dessert that complements it, or it complements the dessert, whatever. But yeah, it was a little different the way he did that, but whatever. You see things all the time. So it was great having the time with Stephanie and Keith and the kids and everything.
Yeah, it's good to see the kids, and now we know if Stephanie talks about one or the other.
Yeah, we know.
Have an idea of who she's talking about and what the personality is. So.
Yeah, and everything. So yeah, and we saw Stephanie's studio. Now Stephanie posted a video showing her studio as well. We walked into that room and went, "Oh my God, this is a fabric store in here." Bolts after bolts of beautiful. Of course, Stephanie has a business, right? But nevertheless, and she's got it set up really nice down there. It's nice and cozy and all laid out very nicely. And by the way, Stephanie, the thing that I asked you about, the arm for the camera and everything, I got it. I got it yesterday. It came from Amazon, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I know the rest of you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a special holder so I can actually have my camera face out over top of my cutting table or whatever. I want to show something in one of my videos instead of having to try and manipulate my other cameras in around different ways. So yeah, that was good. Stephanie enabled me. Well, I enabled myself. I saw it sitting there, had to know about that. Okay, so before we go, I was just looking over the comments that we had over the past week, and just some that just stood out as just interesting or fun. One comes from Katie Feeney, I think. Hello, gentlemen. If Walter had a pointed cap on, he would resemble a gnome. No wonder why you love him. Thanks so much for your shows. I've learned so much. Yeah, I could see as a gnome. an ugly gnome. But another person wrote, Linda Izzard wrote, that brought back lovely memories. We stayed in the motel at the Berlin farmstead and ate there. It was funny because the young Amish girl serving us asked where we were from. When we spoke and said Australia, she was shocked and said she thought we would have an accent like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not Australian. He's Austrian. So yeah, get out your atlas, sweetie. You need to go online. Look at that. Gail the Crafter wrote, one more question. What was the price of the Wild Shepherd's watch kit? Looks interesting. Thank you. Okay, can you reach over in that basket next to the Skyline S7? My other sewing machine. See beyond the table runner. There's a bundle in there that is the Wild Shepherd's watch. I can't remember. I think it's in there. Or is it on the... Is that it? What's it say on it? It's on the tag.
Well, Shepherd's watch.
Yeah, how much was it?
$89.99.
It was $89.99 American. So that answers that question. Brenda Edmonds asked, I said, I have made a log cabin quilt entirely with a serger. Oh, this goes back to when we did our thing before we left about sergers. With a serger over 30 years ago and found the fabric, which was good, wore out faster. No idea why. I do use my serger when I have a piano keyboarder instead of a stay stitch before sending it to the long arm because it is faster and trims the edges nicely. That is something I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
That kind of thing with it. And we'll talk more about this in our series about sergers and the cover stitch machines next week. And Pat Jennings said, now, we went into one of the stores on the streets of Berlin. It wasn't a quilt shop, but they sold quilts in there along with a whole bunch of like kitschy lawn things and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the quilts and it said 50% off whatever price was tag on them. And they were like, you could get a quilt for $150 or more. So I'm looking at them closely and I'm thinking, these I don't think are handmade. Well, lo and behold, there's these big boxes of stuff that hadn't been unpacked yet, which I'm not really sure what was in those boxes, but it said made in China on the boxes. And Pat said, sadly, some shop owners buy from China. You're right about the pricing on those. It gives a very bad idea to quilt buyers as to what a real quilt is worth.
Yeah, and a lot of the edges of those quilts were not actually bound. They were like the stuff that you have where you
turn it inside out, like a pillowcase kind of thing that you do. So yeah. Now, I'm sure there are people that weren't quilters. Quilters would know. But non-quilters would go in there and go, oh, look, I was in Amish country and I bought a genuine Amish quilt. No, you didn't. Unless they have Amish in China. So, don't know.
Somebody's asking if I'm wearing a new shirt. Nope, it's not a new shirt. I've had it for a while.
No, I just washed it. No. But anyway, so yeah. So I just thought some of those comments were kind of interesting as well. And yeah. So I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us. I know that the last live we did was a bit of a shit show because I ran into technical difficulties and I was flustered and I was tired and I was cranky and yeah, whatever with that. So we made up for it here. And don't forget, Pop-Up Sew Day this coming Saturday. Zoom link is in the show notes for that, and those of you on the mailing list, you will get an invitation tomorrow in your watch your email for that. And Wednesday we have, of course, Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, as we always do, starting at 9 a.m. that one, running until 4 p.m. Come as you are, work on whatever, stay as long as you like. You can come late too, doesn't matter, whatever. So, any parting words of wisdom? Do you have a busy week? You have plans?
No.
Lucy and I have to work a lot together. Yeah. So, anyways, glad you could all make it today for today's live. And we just wouldn't have a live if it wasn't for you being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Like.
They've all got subscribed, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Last week we had people that weren't subscribed.
Yeah, thanks to Stephanie as a moderator, she eliminated a few of the trolls that, whoa, they just come out of the woodwork when, for some reason, I don't know why that was I didn't have it hooked up properly. Yeah, part of the technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
especially Dixon.
I didn't get the joke. Walter's, what he means is, never mind. And if you weren't there, you don't know what we're talking about. And even if you were there, you might not have caught that one. Took me a minute. So, anyways, have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you at some point real soon again. So, bye for now.
Bye.